So I'm back at the work site, and today we're going to be lifting hopefully all of the logs into place. But today is going to be an important day. Once we get these walls up, we're going to be putting in that bowed log which joins this wall with this wall, and then it's kind of the moment of truth to see if we've got everything right, if that meets up. I kind of suspect we're going to have to fiddle around with it to get it to work, but there are things we can do if it doesn't go straight away. I've already got jack set up here, so because I'm suspecting that wall is actually a little bit low. Now all the walls have got the pegs between the logs, and the bottom logs are bolted onto the rocks, so there's a limit to how much I'm going to be able to move this building around, but there will be a little bit of adjustment room. So it could be that we need to lift that wall, for example. Obviously there's a lot of resistance in all those joints, but there's still a little bit of wiggle room in a log building, so we'll see how it goes. I'm more worried not by the height of this wall, but the position of these two walls. And if we have to move, for instance, this whole wall a little in or even a little forward, again, we've got a little bit of wiggle room. We can bring up the tractor with the scoop on the front, or turn the other tractor around and push the stone forward or in or whatever. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting day though. Been looking forward to today. So, as I kind of anticipated, things didn't line up perfectly. We put this one on and got it so it's sitting properly on that side, but this side it's a little bit too far that way. Went ahead and put the top logs on, but they're not sitting down properly, of course. And what we need to do is increase the distance between the ends of these two walls. What that really means is pushing this wall out a bit, maybe that wall out a bit. We'll see which one's got a bit more give in it. I think I'll have to lift this log off while we do that, so that this log can actually move and lock itself into place. So we've got the small digger coming up, and we're going to use that to try and gently persuade the walls to move a little bit. We're going to have to be very, very careful so we don't break anything. But because it's this end that I want to move, I really want to get this log seated down properly on here to hold this end in place. So the way I'm going to do that, because these two logs are actually touching up here, and to get that log into place, it actually has to come a little bit forward. So I'm going to build myself a little platform and cut a piece off the end of the log. It doesn't matter, because both of these logs are actually going to be cut probably 20 centimeters off of each to allow the post that's coming up. So I'm going to cut a piece off of that just to allow me to move this log. It needs about 4 centimeters forward, and hopefully that will then lock that log in place, so that when we move things, it's only that end that's going to move. So I'll put together a little platform and get the chainsaw. So we'll see how that works. So now I'm going to take what I call the fine tuner, go around the back and try and knock that log a bit forward. And so we were very carefully able to move that wall. Moved it by about 1.5 centimeters is all, and the log found its place. So it's time to get the post put in here. I'm just working out what the best way to do it is. It may sound like a really simple thing to do, and it would be if this was a simple post that's going in, but it's not. It's really not. I'll show you the post. So this is the post. It's beautiful. It's what they call here mukara kuusi. Kuusi just means spruce. Mukara is like this burl effect. And I'm going to have to try and put this up as a post. Now, initially I was a bit torn when I saw this, because the post needs to be about 2 meters 60 tall, and this is way longer. That means cutting it down and wasting some of this beautiful material. But I just done some measurements, and it looks like I can actually use the part that I cut off. So that's hopefully not going to be an issue. It's going to make it really complicated. I'm actually going to be cutting. I made a mark somewhere. I'm going to be cutting about here, and then this is going to be the post, with this being the bottom end of the post and this being the top end of the post, because I like that shape getting thicker at the bottom. And because there's not a hell of a lot of detail up here, that suits me, because here I'm going to cut some pieces off, so I've got 2 flat surfaces for the 2 top logs to join onto. So this is going to be the post, and the piece that's left, which is here onwards, I'm going to split down the middle and use it on the ends of the 2 short walls, which is going to be technically really, really difficult, but I think it's worth it to make use of all this material. So I've leveled off the end there, I've leveled off that end there. Now I'm going to double and triple check my measurements, so I'm not going to make any silly mistakes, and then I'll get to cut this down. Okay, so what I've done is the top of that post, I've cut it down to 42 centimeters, And what I then did is I established where this diagonal line was, and I screwed the 42 centimeter long block onto this middle log and the back log, so that I could use it as a guide to draw the lines on here, so that I can cut a piece off of each of these two logs, leaving a 42 centimeter gap, so that we can then lift that post up and get it in here. Now, there would be easier ways to do it. I could have just cut the big log of the post off here and rested these on, but I didn't really want to do that. One of the main reasons is that the way I'm going to attach these logs to the post is with a large bolt going this way. And the reason for that is that I want this to act as kind of like a hinge. The post that's been drying for many years, it's not going to shrink at all. But the back wall is, so it will drop a bit, and I want these two logs to be able to move a little with that without breaking anything. So the bolt that goes through here will act kind of as a hinge for that. So I'll go ahead and cut these two logs.